Hi, welcome to Hikate's Crossing. I'm Paula, and welcome if this is the first time you've been to my channel, and welcome back if you've been before. Right, we're on chapter 2, part 2 of Who Were You? So I hope you're enjoying the series. Don't forget to like and subscribe and get the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded, especially if you've been following the series through this. I've already done chapter 1 and we're now on section 2 or chapter 2, and it's matters of life and death. And what we're going to do first is I'm actually going to do a reading first. So just take a moment, take a breath, and let us shuffle the cards and see what message, just me being clumsy, what message do we require at this time? What message is of value to us as we move through this journey? What is of value to us as we move through this journey of who were you? Okay. Let's have a look. 1. Okay. Interesting card. Death. It's about transformation and changes as we allow the things around us to feel like they're shifting into new perspectives, new awareness, new action, new emotional needs. I just feel like there's a lot of healing, a lot of stuff will be going on as we move through with transformation. Interesting card. Next card we have is Empress. And to me that talks about remembering to nurture yourself as you move through this journey and you create the abundance that you actually want. As you go through the transformations and the changes, a sense of freedom, don't forget to nurture who you are as an individual as you bring in the abundance and the fertility. And we've got a Judgment, which is to me is about resurrection. So you're resurrecting who you truly are. A sense of renewal, rebirthing. Wow, beautiful cards coming through. Very major. And here we have 6 of Swords. And 6 of Swords, with this one here, I feel like you're being gently guided into new waters, into new possibilities, new perspectives, a sense of new awareness within oneself. You're leaving behind all the chaos and everything that's been going on, and you're moving into this new thing, this new awareness. And reminding me, this dog here reminds us about being loyal to self at all times is really important, and being aware of where you're guided to, and know that you actually have support, that you actually don't have to go through the journey alone. There are people who will help you and support you as you go through this journey of transformation, changes, as you create the abundance, the fertility. Don't forget to nurture yourself. As you go through the resurrection of true self, awakening who you truly are as an individual, your rebirthing, renewal. Don't forget, as you shift into new waters, new possibilities, a sense of new awareness, to be really gentle with yourself. I love this combination of cards. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, looking at this, I get a sense of really needing to make sure that you stay grounded, learning your identity and who stay true in your own identity is really important. There's a lot of healing going on, and I feel like there's a sense of new awareness, a new sense of communication within oneself. There's a whole lot of stuff, I feel like, really a lot of healing taking place, which is really, really important on many levels. So interesting reading to begin with the Mary L. This is the first edition, as you see, and I haven't trimmed it. I love it as it is. So there we are. So shall we begin? Take a moment, take a breath, and just focus on that reading just for a second. And let that through. And I've realised the incense didn't light properly. So let's just light that incense. Feel the cleansing energy. Just feel like I just need to get that clearing air. Also connect with a little bit of, I love that dragon's blood. I wish you could smell it. It's gorgeous. Dragon's blood roll on. Okay, let us connect. Okay. And it's interesting after that reading. This is what I'm going to read to you. Matters of life and death. What is life and what is death? These questions are explored in section 2, bringing you some of the facts about human birth, life and death in some of the mythologies. How do you know you are alive? And when did you become a viable human being? Do we spend some time only half alive? Some of the doubts and mysteries of our human condition are presented for your discussion. Okay, so let us begin. What is birth? Take a handful of dried beans or other seeds. Are they alive? The Greek philosopher Aristotle proposed the idea of entelechy, E-N-T-E-L-E-C-H-Y, entelechy, which means realization, the becoming of what was previously only a potential. The bean seeds are potentially bean plants. They contain within them all the genetic codes which tell them how to develop. All they need is the right set of conditions to start the process. Place 3 or 4 beans in a glass jar together with a little water and tie a cloth over the top. A lining of blotting paper will support the beans and ensure a constant supply of water. Have we all done that at some stage with school? I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail there because you've looked at the broad bean seeds germinating in a jar. Or the wheat. Okay, when is the plant or animal alive? Pollination, germination and birth. So with animals, conception, gestation and then birth. It is clear that life begins before birth, though exactly when is a matter of disagreement. Anti-abortionists claim that a new life begins at conception, whereas others say that the fertilized egg cannot be regarded as a living human being. I'm not going to go into discussion of that. So it's your own personal thoughts. When did this person come to life? When did the soul or spirit enter the body? Even if you do not believe in eternal life or in reincarnation, you may like to speculate on both possibilities. I'm not going to go into human development after conception. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details. I will put the I will scan it and put it on my blog, and you can download it if you want to. What is birth continuing? I'm not going to go into a whole lot of stuff like that because I think that is a debate that we don't want to get into. It is real personal. What is your belief for rebirth and conception? But let's look at conception and creation through some of the beliefs around the world. With Father Sky and Mother Earth. Sky and Earth conceive life. The creation story of the Navajo Indians of North America is passed down from father to children through traditional sand paintings. Nowadays the sand is glued to a board so the picture can be preserved, but the symbols remain the same. In the beginning there was a great lake of pure water, from which emerged the sky and the earth. All living things were then created by the conjugation of sexual opposites. Timeless cosmic intercourse took place between the primordial Father Sky and Mother Earth. From his body, Father Sky produced the sun, the moon, and the Milky Way, and Mother Earth received all these and grew the 4 sacred plants from her body. Father Sky and Mother Earth remained united forever, conceiving and delivering each living creature. Okay, the Shinto creation of the Kami. Droplets from chaos formed an upper and lower universe in 2 Kami life spirits. The Kami Izanagi, male, and Izanami, female, stirred the lower part, making an island where they married and conceived the Kami of trees, winds, rocks, and so on. Before Izanami died, she divorced Izanagi to prevent him joining her in death. While washing away his grief in the sea, the moon Kami fell from his right eye, the sun from his left, and the storm god from his nose. The storm attacked the sun, so she hid in the cave of heaven, creating night. Eventually she was enticed out by a mirror hung on a sakaki tree, thus creating day. The sun sent her divine grandson to rule Japan, which is why, until 1945, Japanese emperors were regarded as divine. The Hindu cycles of creation. Every 4,320,000 years a universe is created as Brahman breathes in. When creative energy is static, it is Brahman. When active, it is the feminine Shakti. In the creation, Brahman has manifested itself as triad of 3 gods, each with an activating Shakti. Brahma, the ball of fire from which universes are created, and his Shakti, the burning power. Vishnu, the male preserver god, and his Shakti, the female Lakshmi. Vishnu has already appeared in 9 forms. The 8th is Krishna, and the 9th is Buddha. His 10th appearance will be Kalki, to save all that is good in the world for the next creation. Shiva, the god who destroys so creation can happen, and his Shakti Parvati, the power of intuition. From Shiva's hair flows the life-giving holy river Ganges. In the beginning was the Word of God. The Jewish and the Christian beliefs were written in the 2 versions of the Old Testament book of Genesis, describing how God created the world in 6 days and rested upon the 7th day, the Sabbath. In the second version is a fallen creation resulting from the disobedience of Adam. God has created Adam in his own image, but being human he was lonely, so God took one of Adam's ribs and created Eve to be his companion. God forbade Adam to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge that grew in the garden. However, Eve, encouraged by the serpent, picked an apple from the tree and tempted Adam, who ate it. Hence Adam and Eve fell from grace and were expelled from the Garden of Eden. It is said they are ancestors to us all. Pictorial creation story. The Red Book of the Delaware Indians, called the Walam Olam, is a sequence of drawings which I'll put in the video so you can have a look, and I'll scan it. History of the tribe from the time of creation. The interpretation are from modern translations of their meaning. In the beginning of all time there was space. The great Manito appeared in the midst over the earth. The great Manito had been there forever in space. He created the sun, the moon, and the stars. He made harmony in which everything moved. Then he blew a wind and made the waters flow. Many small islands emerged from the waters. The great Manito was father and spoke to all. He created the mother of all living things. He created fish, wild animals, birds, and turtles. The creatures were friendly and lived in harmony. The mothers had mates to help them, and every creature had food to eat. But an evil magician was hidden in the earth. He created misfortunes. All this happened long ago, before the great flood. Just keeping an eye on time. I don't want to make it too long. I think that's enough for conception and creation. And next week we will look at what is death. There is so much to cover. I just want you to think about, what does birth mean to you and conception. That is so personal. But then you look at conception and creation, which is a different part altogether. And then next week we'll look at what is death. Okay, that's it for this week with Wednesday Healing, as we move through Who Were You? Take a deep breath and focus on your thoughts about conception. And birth, conception and creation. Think about the reading for today, as we move through this journey of transformations and changes, fertility and abundance, not forgetting to nurture self, resurrection of true self, an awakening, a rebirth, a sense of renewal. As we move on to new waters or new possibilities, remembering we're moving through changes, we're moving ahead and leaving behind the chaos of the past, into what may yet be the unknown, remembering to be gentle with ourselves, and being aware of how we're being led. Remembering to stay grounded, balancing our heart, and expressing who we are through communication. Take care, and blessed be.